Today's Tuesday, welcome to your Pocket News, where we're going to talk about terrorism, threats in Russia, and our consumer society. So let's go. Has anything changed in London or Glasgow since the recent terrorist attempts? Well, our Europocketer Pablo can be seen daily on the streets of London. Along with the Londoners themselves, the streets are full of immigrants, migrants, tourists, students and homeless, all going about their daily routine. Something that they might not do with such ease since the recent events. Pablo asked some of his fellow pedestrians if their lives had been affected or not.
I'm here in Piccadilly Circus in the heart of London's West End, and just round the corner from where the 2 car bombs were discovered on June 29th. These, along with the terrorist attempts at Glasgow Airport, have increased the security threat level here in the United Kingdom to critical. I'm going to see what people here in London feel about these terrorist attempts and whether it's actually affected their everyday lives. So, have the recent terrorist attempts here in London and also in Glasgow changed anything for you at all?
I mean, it's changed a lot for people that ain't Muslim, because because of the media, they tend to think that all Muslims are terrorists.
Yeah.
I mean, it's completely right out of order because, I mean, if you go to a proper Muslim, you'll understand that it's completely forbidden in our religion. And it kind of puts the wrong idea on the whole religion, which is out of order, you know, because there's women that are Muslim, and I mean, it's a whole mix. It's not just, you know, Asian people are Muslim, you get Muslims from everywhere, and it's wrong because, you know, they look at it as a stereotype, you know. Obviously, if one guy commits a murder, it doesn't mean all the people of his religion or his kind are like that, you know.
Yeah.
It's just that individual himself. So obviously the stuff that happened is completely forbidden in our religion, so that doesn't actually make a Muslim to go and do that stuff.
Do you think should the government do more to kind of basically just not let that kind of thing happen? Or
I don't know, it kind of surprises me because when the new parliament comes out here, all these things happen the next day or a few days later, so that's kind of the question that's going on in my head right now. So
I think they make me worry about travelling a bit more, maybe worry about coming to London and, you know, worry what's going to happen. I think it's sort of, I guess I find myself like looking around a bit more than I normally would, you know, when I'm on the tube.
And I mean, is it something that you would wake up in the morning and not think about in any way at all? Or?
No, not at all. It's something which, like I said, is quite worrying, but you know, the IRA in the 90s, then there was the stuff after 9/11, and then the 7/7 bombs. You just get up, hope it, you know, don't really think about it and go to work, and that's it.
Yeah.
I want Russia to be a leader of the 21st century, were the recent words of an 18-year-old Russian activist and member of the Nashi group. Literally translated, Nashi means ours, but is a 2-year-old group mainly made up of young people, those of the Putin generation. The radical group promotes ethnic tolerance, opposition to skinheads, participation in the army, support for orphans and pensioners, and respect for World War II veterans. Nashi dedicates its time to campaigning against drinking and smoking and expressing its conservative views on issues like abortion and birth control. For example, they're anti-condoms. In brief, the group is anti-European, anti-USA, reckon Bush wants to take over the world, and feel obliged to fight for their country to ensure that Russia will always be one of the most powerful states. They are devoted fans of Putin, enemies of their ex-prime minister, and even the former world chess champion Garry Kasparov, who they believe is fascist. They're most definitely a threat and can lead us back into an epoch of totalitarianism. As a European citizen, what is your priority? If your opinion is included in the latest Eurobarometer survey, it would be the vanishing of poverty. The latest survey revealed that exactly 66% of Europeans feel that the main job of the EU should be to fight against poverty. Then AIDS, TB, and other fatal illnesses. And then, of course, peace, security, and human rights. According to the stats of the EU, last year every EU citizen designated 100 euros to the EU budget towards aid development, although 5% saw no advantage in doing so. One thing most of us agree on, though, is supporting the Millennium Objectives of the UN, who were meant to have ended poverty by 2000. Although they did not achieve this very ambitious aim, the Humanitarian Aid Department of the EC under Louise Michel is now pushing that we can do so by 2015 and has requested the coordination of all third world countries. And finally, how low would you go? Or better phrased, to what extremes would you go to get your hands on something material? Because seemingly in Europe we have crossed the borders. And young Portuguese people, for example, have started offering virtual sex in exchange for simple things like credit on their mobile phones. According to the Portuguese newspaper Diário de Notícias. The paper reveals that youngsters are willing to do absolutely anything just to keep up with their friends. And if you look at any chat site, like Terra for example, you can see 14-year-olds offering sexual favours, stripteases, and lots more. Are we becoming victims of a consumer society? How far would you go? Well, that's all for today, but I'll be back tomorrow with lots more, so see you right here in Europocket. Bye bye.